Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. Back again. It's me back again. Holy smokes, it almost feels like deja vu because we have yet another amazing guest. I mean, where do these people come from? Well, they come from the legendary community. That's where they come from. Come on. Um, and it's absolutely amazing to have yet another, uh, you know, basically, I guess they were titled essential workers. They are essential. These are our healthcare workers. These are our frontline workers. These are the people who in our society we go to when we need help and are in crisis. And unfortunately, in this case, Mariah, our guest today, is a nurse. Well, they are also our teachers and our really those our nurses and our teachers are really some of the most important people who are unfortunately the most overworked and underpaid. And in many cases, they have to pursue or are, I guess, maybe the pandemic has given them the motivation to pursue other things. We'll see if that's Mariah's story this morning. But if you are in one of those professions and you are thinking about, hey, geez, I love doing what I do, but I'm also feeling burnt out and I'm feeling like there's more month at the end of the money each month, then might be time for you to learn some digital marketing skills and start to find some ways to create some alternative income. With that being said, Mariah, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you.
Did anything that I just said there in the intro feel like it fit?
Yeah, it almost made me tear up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for your service to society, first and foremost.
It's my pleasure.
You know, I had my father in a situation this year for 77 days,
Wow.
open heart surgery, and he had complications. And so he was in
Mm,
the hospital for 77 days. And I was able to see people like you in action and how important you are in society, how important you are to families, and how we all go to you when we are crying and hurt. And then at the same time, how you are oftentimes overworked and underpaid. And
mm,
although that's unfortunate, I guess it's the way that it is. You're not the only one who's overworked and underpaid. It just is unfortunate that the best of what America has to offer, those people are overworked and underpaid. And so tell us, what led you to Legendary? What were you looking for? You feel like you found it here.
Oh, absolutely. More than what I was looking for. So funny enough, I was getting off of maternity leave. We had moved back home to our hometown in Fort Myers, Florida. So I was starting a whole new job and everything. And I was crying to my husband because I'm like, I'm dropping my kids off 4 times a week while I go be a nurse. And like my dream growing up was to be a mom. And the fact that someone is spending more time with my kids than I get, it's not right. So I don't know, we just figured out what to do. Anyways, I was in a procedure and the CRNA was telling me about how he has this side business that he started in between nurse anesthetist school and becoming like licensed CRNA. And he does print on demand, like through Amazon and Redbubble or something like that. So I was
Yeah.
like, what? So I kind of like listened to him. And so then, looking it up on TikTok and Instagram, then the algorithm started pushing me Amazon FBA stuff. So then I started researching Amazon FBA, like I downloaded people's ebooks and like all of the things, but it just never, I was like, that's way too much work. Then I noticed like with Amazon, like your customers really impact your store. So I was like, this is way too much. So, anyways, the algorithm started pushing me affiliate marketing stuff. And then it was a nurse at the time too. And I'm like, okay, what is this? So then I started researching you. I started researching Legendary Marketer and what it actually is, looking at my own, like what I could promote. And I'm like, okay, this is definitely doable. And if this is changing people's lives like it is, why couldn't it change mine too?
Mm.
So I pursued it. I was scared as heck. I swear I went to that checkout page 3 different times. And I just got to the fact where I was like, all right, I've thrown away a bad Starbucks coffee before. So if I throw away $7 with the potential to change my whole entire life, like I think I can handle that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've gone on to, fully invest in your education and kind of go all in here, right? I mean, this has turned
Yeah.
into something where you were skeptical to where you've kind of thrown yourself into it and said, "Oh, I'm going to do this kind of all out." Talk to us about as you were getting started, finally checked out on that challenge checkout page and started going through our challenge. What came up for you, and what was that experience like?
Oh my goodness. The challenge itself was enough life change for me because let me tell you something. I'm not an entrepreneur. My mind does not work business, right? So when I was researching like how to get into this, I wanted to find the best entrepreneur that could show me, right? Like it was so much bigger than learning skills of affiliate marketing or digital marketing. Like I wanted to learn how to be a business owner and an entrepreneur. So with the challenge and my business advisor, she's amazing. Shout out Bonnie. I felt like after this 7 day challenge, it's my $7. Like I'm like, I could be a freaking entrepreneur. Like, and my like just the limits that I just saw was like amazing. And funny enough, I was getting ready to go back to school to be like nurse practitioner school. But with the new job and everything, you have to be there like 90 days before they'll pay for tuition, all yada yada. So I like postponed it. And in the middle of it, like I started the challenge and I'm like, heck no, I'm not going to pay for school. I'm going to pay for this. So that's kind of how that happened. But I just approached my husband because I mean, that's a lot of money to give something. And I mean, we didn't really have it. We were using our savings account every month because we just moved. So it's just a whole bunch of stuff. But I like approached him. I'm like, listen, I like kind of laid it out for him. And he was like, at this point in our lives, like it's going, it's dwindling down little by little. So we can either, you can pursue, if you believe in it and you think you can do it, then I'm here, I'm backing you up in it. Like, go for it. If this is going to be an investment that you're willing to do. And I was like, I believe in this. Let's go. Let's do this thing.
Wow, what's his name?
Evan.
Shout out Evan. Shout out Evan. Wow,
Shout
great
out Evan.
support. Great support from Evan, man. It's always nice to be believed in, and
Mm-hmm.
supported. And, um, you know, uh, obviously you were about to pursue and have invested significantly in your education just to be a nurse, right? I mean, it's not
Yes.
like, sometimes we look at a couple of $1,000 from internet course, and of course it
Mm-hmm.
feels like a lot because it's not traditional education. It's not $50,000 for a 4-year degree. Well, that's nothing. I'll tell student loans can't give it to me. Hit me. But it's like,
Exactly.
it's like $2,500 for a internet course that could potentially teach me how to employ those nurses who paid 50,000 for that. It's sort of a rewiring of the brain, and I think a lot of society is starting to kind of pick up on the little
Yep.
game of sort of gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that our nurses and our doctors and all these folks don't need to be well trained, but there's some flaws in the system. The fact that our student loans are the only unforgivable debt in America, meaning that you
Mm-hmm.
can't file a bankruptcy on it. The fact that we present those unbelievably high loans to 18-year-old children. And I don't care. I've had an 18-year-old kid. I've got a 22-year-old son. I've been an 18-year-old. I just know that I wasn't in a place to be able to make a decision for the rest of my life at 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be sort of a mind, what, to then have done all that and then be like super skeptical about anything else again, because it's like, well, if I spent $100,000 on this degree or whatever it was, and I'm not happy here, I want more, then, oh God, I mean, am I just going to be spending my money for another lost, it's not a lost cause, but is it not going to fulfill my needs? Is it really not going to fulfill my needs? And so what's coming up for you right now as I'm talking about
Like I spent 4 years in college, right? So you go to school 4 years to be a nurse. I killed the like the state licensing exam. Like I was confident, right? You get out there and you're on the floor and I'm looking around and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how to be a nurse. Like I just
Mm,
spent 4 years of my life, spent all this money on this training and all the things, but then you get into the real world and you still feel like you don't know what the heck you're doing. Like, and then
that's some dadgum honesty right there.
then I do my 12 weeks of training with the nurse, and I'm sitting in my manager's office, and they're like, like, how are you feeling about coming off the orientation? Da, da, da. And I'm like, I can't freaking do this. Like, and she's like, Mariah, you're doing amazing. Give yourself 6 months. If you come in, you still feel this way in 6 months, come sit down in my office again. And I was like, all right, 6 months. Like, I can do this 6 months. So when I started this training, and I've invested my time, and the one common thing that every single person that gets on this stage says, consistency, 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 show up, do not give up, right? So I was like, 6 months. I'm going at this. I'm running full force for 6 months, because just like when I started nursing school, I felt like I couldn't do it, had all the fears. Even though I knew I had the skills and the knowledge, I still felt like I couldn't do it. So I was like, I'm going to go full force, even though I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and give it 6 months.
Yeah.
And I haven't even hit 6 months yet. And I'm feeling more and more confident every single day. So it's like, just keep going at it, guys.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of honesty right there. I mean, God, who can relate to that? I mean, who can relate to going to school for, 4 years, 6 years, whatever, and then getting on the job and feeling like you don't know your butt from a hole in the ground? You know what I mean? It's like, what's going on here? What did I just...
It takes experience.
It does. It does. And that's honestly what companies are looking for, is they're looking to hire experienced people. They're not, This is just the cold, hard truth, people, whether we like it or not. Companies, corporations, they don't want somebody who has no experience, but just spent 4 years showing up to a classroom, turning in tests. It's just, it's common sense.
And even patients, they'll be like, how long have you been doing this? Because, you look young. Totally. Like, how long are you doing this? And like, as a new nurse, like, you're not going to say like, oh, So it's just, everyone wants the experienced people, no matter what.
Yeah. And the experienced people are better at their job.
Yeah.
That's why they want the experienced people, because they're better at the job. So it's difficult for a brand new person to bridge that gap between being new and being $50,000 or $100,000 in debt, fresh out of college, having just spent 4 years waiting for the big day, when you find out that, damn, I actually don't even know still how to do the job. I need to gain experience. And even worse, again, I've given this example a couple of times. The licensed mental health professional going into the psychology field requires, in many cases, an internship. I mean, being a doctor does as well, right? That's your residency, I believe, when you're getting, again, I'm not a doctor, so I'm speaking about things I don't know here in terms of internship and residency. But I do know that many of my friends have followed careers or pursued careers in mental health and been required to do internships. And what is an internship? Well, it's a fancy word for saying that you're going to do a job and not get paid for it. That's what an internship is. Free work, okay? Pro bono, okay? For the people who can really afford to do pro bono work, that's brand new college kids that are just graduated out of 4 years or 6 years or 8 years of college with $100,000 in debt. We got something for you. It's called internship. Congratulations. Now I'm going to, here's how you're going to get your experience. You're going to get your experience working for free.
And you have to be fully committed to it.
I love life. It's just a trip.
It's
you know what
crazy.
I love most about life? I love hacking the system. I love hacking the system. I mean, in a way, and this is just me turning my mess into a message. I almost feel like dropping out in 9th grade and not going to college was an advantage for me, because I didn't get all of the grooming of the social programming that that so many of my friends, dear friends, hardworking friends, well-intentioned friends, just like yourself, somebody who did all the right things. I did the wrong thing. You did the right thing. You did what you were supposed to do by graduating high school, going to college. What other ways are you needing to sort of unlearn and relearn new ways to think as you become an entrepreneur?
Oh my God. Like, being conditioned for the past 30 years like that, let me tell you, the mental work that this has been, if there's any hurdle, like with this whole entire program, like, forget the tech skills. I'm not creative. I can't do the tech skills, but like, I'm learning it. Everything is changing. But the mental skills of being an entrepreneur and getting rid of those thoughts and like doubts and fears, and like that I can't do this and that this isn't real, it's not sustainable, like all of the things, the mental work has been the biggest hurdle, because let me tell you, it's the most powerful tool you're going to be able to develop. When you're doing this, that's your most important tool, is your mental. And it's just every day. And this is another thing. I unintentionally did this like little trial, because a lot of the people on here talk about like manifestation and doing things. I like to call them affirmations. But I was been like making sales, you know, like daily, whatever. I didn't do my affirmations, like writing them out for like a whole weekend. I did not make one sale at all that whole weekend. I'm like, what the heck is going on? What happened in my content? Like, did something shift? And then I was like, oh yeah, that's what happened. Started doing that this week, and it's like they're going off again. And I'm like, the mental, like just manifesting and affirming like what you already promised is so important.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I was just getting a haircut today, so when I throw the hat, it's a little bit, it's a little bit more
Sharp.
stylish. There you go. Thank you. Sharp. Throw the hat for that one. Ow. My barber, who is a Cuban immigrant and has a powerful story. You want to find somebody who has worked their butt off to do something like just way beyond what me as an American born into this country ever will understand. This guy, I mean, he didn't come over on a raft, but damn near, you know what I mean? Like, it was hard. His story is crazy. He just got his citizenship this year. But he was saying that, like, when he was younger in Cuba, he had this older friend, and she was like driving around, like they were on their way to the beach, and like she had this cool car, and she like put her windows down, and they had the music on, and they were listening to music. And every single day, that became his dream, is that he wanted to one day own a car that he could put the windows down and turn the music up and sing as he was driving. Okay.
Wow.
So he now lives, he's a licensed barber, licensed, I think, esthetician, licensed massage therapist. Okay. He lives in an apartment over the salon that he works in. He doesn't own the salon, but he's ready to start his own business. And he just told me this today. You talk about manifestation. He just told me this just this morning. He was like, every single day, Dave, I get up and I go get in my car, because he lives kind of like near the beach. He says, I go get in my car and I roll the windows down and I turn on the music, and I just go for a 5-minute drive, 10-minute drive, and I just roll the windows down and I sing at the top of my lungs.
Amazing.
Because that was my dream. That was what I wanted to do. And I manifested that. I thought about that every single day until it happened. And now that's sort of my happy place, how I get my day kicked off, my morning ritual, meditation, whatever you want to call it, gratitude practice.
Yep.
I was like, man, I didn't have a hat. I had to go find the hat. Let me get it out. Christmas. I mean, that was some powerful.
But like, think about, like, that was his biggest dream, right? And now that it's like his like a reality, he's still using that dream that was once a dream to keep on dreaming.
Yeah. So the power of speaking something into existence. Talk to us about you're affirming yourself by writing down affirmations. How else are you affirming, visualizing, manifesting the results that you want in your life? I have this big saying of, you need to act yourself into a new way of thinking. You can't think yourself into a new way of acting. You actually literally have to get out of your head, because if you're in your head, you're dead. You get out of your head, and you already said, so you're writing down affirmations. Can you say more about what those affirmations look like? Can you also help us understand any other practices that you're doing, or how you're changing your language about how you speak about yourself or what you're doing as well, since you've started this journey that's been helpful?
Yeah. So I'm a woman of faith. So the biggest things for me is like when I say to myself every single day, because this is like, it feels like I've been doing this forever, right? Like when you think about it and you get into your head, it feels like it's just so much more. It's crazy. But I just say God's will, not mine. God's plan, not mine. God's timing, not mine. And I say that every single day, multiple times a day. My scripture today that I was reading said, if you pray for anything, you have to believe it in your heart that you already received it. So like past tense, like you already have it. So I'm just like, when you, like, it's already God's promise to me. Like, you know what I mean? And I just have to put work to my faith. I have to keep showing up. I have to keep doing it every single day and going after it, or it's not going to be anything, you know? So I literally say, and I write this, I got this from Caroline actually. And I write, I love making $10,000 a month. And I write it multiple times. I love making $10,000 a month. I love making $10,000 a month. And eventually when I start making $10,000 a month, it's going to be like, I like making $10,000 a week. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you just keep on going.
Yeah, this is good stuff. And you're going to get me on my brother Dave stuff here this morning. Get us both preaching. So yes, I'm all about that. The speaking things into existence, acting as if, like, this is another big thing. Nobody needs to fake it till you make it, because why fake it when you can just act as if it's already happened, right? You don't need to fake anything. Just act as if it's already happened inside of your life, meaning that you can write down and say, nobody's stopping you from saying, I love making $10,000 a month. I attract money into my life easily and effortlessly. I am a money magnet. I am somebody people love giving money to. I also make it easy for people to give me money. I make it easy. Other people, other people make it hard, and you can always see when somebody's making it hard, right? And you're like, and when you start to recognize, wow, this person's making it really hard for me to do business with them or to give them money. Now you look at your marketing and you say, how can I make it easy for people to give me money? Like we look at our checkout pages and we make sure they're really clean and crisp and not confusing. There's only one thing to buy at a time. So there's only one decision to make for somebody. We want to make it easy for people to buy our product. We want to make it easy for people to give us money so we can give them a powerful experience. Same reason why we jump on Zoom or a phone call with every single person that comes through our business, that comes through our education. If they want to, we don't force them, because we want to make it easy for them to do business with us. So as you're starting this journey, I love that we're talking about this, because so many times, what are we talking about? The economy's hard, man. It's hard to get ahead. That's the things that most of you talk about with your friends.
Yep.
That's the negative gossip. That's called commiserating. That's being a crab in a bucket. And did you know the story of the crabs in a bucket, my dear friends? If you put crabs in a bucket and one tries to climb out, the other crabs will pull it back down. That's crabs in a bucket. You can see it. Go get crabs, put them in a bucket. I'm a fisherman. I know, I've seen it. I've done all the tests, because I think, is that analogy actually real? So I got some blue crabs and different things that live here in Florida and put them in a damn bucket. Sure enough, those crabs didn't want that other crab to get out of that bucket.
Yep.
And guess what? Your friends and your family, in most cases, unfortunately, and it sucks, we pray for them, whatever. It's not our problem. It's not our responsibility. But they are crabs in a bucket in some respects. Again, we love them. God bless them. Want the best for them. But don't need to share our big dreams with small-minded people, right? So I act as if I'm already successful. And I think that's one of the things you were alluding to with not doing your affirmations over the weekend or whatever weekend when your business started to kind of slow down and you weren't generating as many leads, is that you probably weren't projecting the confidence of you are successful. You are somebody worthy of doing business with. It is easy to do business with you. All the things. Is that what you were alluding to?
Yeah, I just focused on like making content, really, like, okay, like what can I do this weekend? Like, how can I line up? Like, what content am I going to push out today? Like, I wake up early every single day to practice, like putting like myself first, right? And like doing this type of thing. But those mornings that I woke up early, I was so focused on the content and finding what am I going to like prepare for this weekend to push out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it was like nothing. It was like crickets. And I'm like, what the heck? All right, God, like what's going on here? And then it's just like, you haven't been giving it to me. So I'm like, oh my goodness. And then, I started on Monday morning, got into my prayer, got into my journal, started writing. And then sure enough, bang, bang, bang. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is legit. Like they're not lying when they say affirming or manifesting like what you want it to be. And then I had that scripture this morning and I'm like, okay, God, like duh, received it, like past tense. It's already mine. You already promised it.
I like
So
that.
I'm going to get it.
Right. I mean, let me just claim what has already been given to me, what
Yes.
I'm owed, what I deserve. How many of you actually think that you deserve to be rich and successful? That's the other thing. It's like most of us don't feel like we deserve it. Well, change that. And how do you change that? Well, you start acting like you are deserving. You start walking around like you're all that in a bag of chips. Stop worrying about people calling you arrogant. Stop worrying about people calling you cocky. Say, this is the best version of me. This might be a threatening version of me that makes you uncomfortable. That's not my problem. That's not my responsibility. The way I make you feel, wait a second. I can't make anybody feel anything. You're in control of your feelings. And if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Don't look. Don't listen. You don't have to follow me. But this is who I am in my best, most, prosperous, most deserving self. And I deserve all of it and more. I deserve all the money that's coming to me. I deserve all the success that I'm having and all the success that's coming my way. What comes up when I talk about upgrading your vibrations and carrying yourself like the successful person that you are becoming?
I will say Wake Up Legendary. This is a very underrated tool that you guys do every single day because my growth and success it's like I tune into these still, like, and I learn and I take something almost on the daily, even if it's just encouragement and like, dang, like, yes, like they're on fire. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to surround yourself with people that understand and get it. And when you do that, listen every single morning, you're going to feel so empowered because we are just ordinary people that have found the success and we are passionate and we are empowered by it. This is probably like that tool that I use in that area is Wake Up Legendary.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, because when we hear other people speaking confidently and we hear other people and we listen to other people and watch people and hang out with people, and we can hang out with people by not even being around them physically, just by who we listen to and who we watch. Did you know that the news anchor that you watch every night, you're hanging out with him? Right.
Exactly.
I mean, whoever it is on that sitcom that's playing that,
Yes.
loser, or that person that's always on the pity pot or whatever, you're hanging out with that dude. I mean, as much as I love shows like The Office, I don't watch them 24/7 because I don't want to be Michael Scott. I just want to laugh at Michael Scott, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be Michael Scott on The Office, even though he's funny as hell. But it's true. The more we listen to people that are confident, the more that we listen to people that have high vibrations of self-love, that have high vibrations of self-esteem, that have high vibrations of feeling deserving and worthy of success, the more we listen to people who claim things, who say, hey, I believe in me and I also believe in you, but you don't have to believe in me. Sort of like Deion Sanders said here recently. He said, your opinion of me is not my opinion of me.
Exactly.
I mean,
yes.
you didn't make me, so you can't break me. Right. It's like,
and look at him, and people are like upset with his success, but he's going, he doesn't care.
Doesn't care. He isn't worried about what other people think of him. And so I'm glad that you mentioned the audio. I think that for those of you who are trying to rewire your brains right now, not only catching the show in the morning live, of course, and being part of the community and seeing how many people are commenting and being a part of the commenting, and we're reading your comments, we're seeing, we're shouting you guys out. We see you. Maybe one of or all of you will be on the show here one day and be able to feel even more a part of, and not just a listener, but a participant. is it what is your feelings of being on the show after listening to it? And I mean, what is it like for you to be here now?
I have a goal list. I don't know if it was you or maybe a Wake Up Legendary episode, but like when I was in the challenge, it's like take a piece of paper, write down your goals. One of my goals, and I even my very last conversation with Bonnie was like, hopefully you see me on Wake Up Legendary one day. She's like, one day is not a time. I'll see you on there soon. And I was like, oh, okay, like that's how this works. So I like wrote it on my goal list. Like I will be on Wake Up Legendary. So when you reached out, I'm like already like, oh my God. So even God has a bigger plan than me or you know what I mean? So whatever that plan is for me here today, let it be. But I am besides myself that I'm checking off a box.
Yeah. It's interesting. Eva says, who do you listen to every day, Dave? I listen to myself. I listen to myself. That's who I listen to because I've worked so hard to be able to talk the way that I talk. And the way that I talk here on Wake Up Legendary, I talk to everybody throughout the entire day. And so I am manifesting all of the things that I want by speaking them into existence. I don't need to rewire my brain consistently every day. I've been doing it for 13 years. I'm in the business of now helping other people rewire their brain. So I'm not saying that I've arrived. I'm just saying that I don't compare my year 13 with your day 13. You know what I mean? Like understand that I'm not in a place to where I need to listen. I already told you, many of you who listen to the show, that back when I was afraid to share my story, to be transparent, to be vulnerable, I didn't know how to turn my mess into a message. I was walking my dog around the corner, around the block, getting ready to do a webinar. Back before we could even go live on social media. This was back in 2009, 2010. I was listening to a guy named Jeffrey Combs. He's an old sales trainer. I'm not a guru, not a Tony Robbins. And I just heard him, man, talk about him being a recovering alcoholic. Sometimes it's not, sometimes you don't know who you're going to get the message from, and in that particular day, I got a message from that guy that changed my life forever because I heard him sharing his truth and his turning his struggles into his strengths. And so now what I focus on doing, and this is what I'm going to encourage everybody to do. If you're in the beginning of this journey, listen to these lives and these audios every day. And what you soon want to begin to replace that listening and learning time with is action taking time. Right? So instead of, you may taper your listening or your education, your kind of, in the car learning, or you're in the car mindset training or walking or doing dishes or working out. Now you're feeling more confident over time and you begin to start to speak more. You become the speaker. Because now all of a sudden you're stepping into an even more powerful place, which is, it's powerful to listen to other people speak power into you. And that is certainly helpful for those of you who are at the beginning of the journey. But what's even more powerful is for your own brain to hear you talking this powerful stuff, for you to speak things into existence. And if you can do that all day, I'm not only creating content, I've also got a team. I'm doing calls. I'm in a leadership role 24/7 in my life. And so I'm able to speak all of the things that that is my job now, is to cast a vision, is to talk about where we're going. It's to constantly be speaking things into existence that don't exist yet. I said yesterday on the show, legendary marketer community at one time was one person, right? It was one person. What comes up for you as I answer Eva's question, and obviously I have mentors and I have people that I like to listen to, and I have podcasts and different things that I tune into.
Well, I'm sure just listening to the people that you're already helping and the success, I'm sure this fires you up too. You know what I mean?
This fires me up. I mean, Wake Up Legendary. Yeah, that's the other thing that I appreciate you mentioning. When you start to actually gain clients and you start to gain happy clients in your business, having conversations with your clients and them telling you how much your services actually are helping them and changing their life. is another big boost. You stop having to go to all these external places in order to pump yourself up. You're now sort of creating your own community and your own feedback loop.
Yes.
Appreciate the question, Eva. So staying on the mindset topic, Mariahh, what was it like for you to transition and to go from learning to taking action mode? What were the limiting beliefs that you had to overcome? How was it different for you to go from being a nurse to being on camera on social media?
Yeah. I, even in my challenge, I swore, like when I was talking to Bonnie, I'm like, I'm doing faceless. Like I was not going to get in front of this camera. But at the end of the day, like if it's it's personable, right? Like if I can show who I am, because like you said, you have people that are out there, out of the billions of people that are in this world, you're going to find your people. And how am I going to do that if I'm not like presenting myself? And I don't really care. Like I still have like all my friends and stuff. No one knows. Like the only people that know are my family. Like my in-laws don't even know. They'll probably find out today. But there's a lot of people that don't know. And I've had one person, like one of my nurse friends, hit me up like, "Why did you just pop up on my TikTok?" And I was like, "Are you trying to work from home? That's weird that pushed that to you." Anyways, but you just kind of have to like let go. Like you literally just have to let go, take the leap and jump and kind of just let it happen. But let me tell you, my content, because I'm not the most confident person, especially in front of a camera, my words jumble together a lot of the time. So when I'm like recording a talking video, my words are jumbling all together. And my content in the first 2 months are cringe worthy. Like I look back at them and I am like, I put this out there. And anyway, so I ended up creating a whole new like TikTok, because that's a whole nother story. And then because my content had changed the quality of how I was doing it, you have to just do it. Like practice makes progress, right? You have to just keep practicing, get in front of the camera, even if you don't post it. The first like week, I was still in the challenge. I would record myself talking in front of the camera just to like gain confidence in like how I would talk and how I would structure my talk and all of the things, just to get practice in. And it still was cringeworthy, but still, you just got to do it. You have to keep practicing at it, growing, and stay a student, like learning it.
I want to validate you, because you said you notice that you spoke that into, like said that about yourself, declared that you're not a confident person. I want to like, I don't want to change you or change what you say, because everything about you is perfect. And I just want to tell you that I experience you right now as an extremely confident person. I experience you right now as somebody who has amazing confidence, who has amazing clarity about what you want, who has amazing faith, who's very inspirational, and who is clear about the direction that you're taking your life, and confident about the direction that you're taking your life. And so I would just offer that validation and those words for you to begin to also speak about yourself, and speak while we're on the topic of speaking things into existence, right?
See, it's still in there.
Totally. And
still working at it.
Yeah. And obviously we're not trying to not be authentic people, right? Because we still need to have a safe place to be able to process our emotions and what is coming up for us and what we're feeling, etc. And it's just interesting as we listen, and when we do pay close attention to the words that we say about ourselves, that we can really pick up on all of the different ways in which we devalue ourselves. So we don't need anybody else to devalue us. You know what I mean? No. Like we do that enough ourselves. Like one of the things that I heard early in my drug and alcohol recovery was that if somebody else talked to us and to us the way that we talk to ourselves, we would fight them. We would.
Heck yeah.
And if somebody talked to our children or our loved one the way that we talk to ourselves, we would probably go even more crazy on them. And
So good.
why is it that we talk about ourselves in negative ways to others, so we declare it out loud to others?
Mhm.
We also have this self-talk inside of us and that is why the affirmations that you were talking about are so powerful, right?
Yeah. Hmm. It is. And I tell people all the time, like when you're looking for education, right? Like there's tons of things out there. Not this isn't going to be for every single person, but I can tell you how it impacted me. And that biggest thing was the entrepreneur mindset. Like you have, and I was talking to a girl, she's like in my messages, like she's so excited and she's getting pumped. And I'm like, listen, I know you want to get ahead and I know you want to get it started, but there is a reason that you have these small steps that you have to take. You can't just jump to step 10. Like take this first little step, even though it sounds stupid, writing goals on a piece of paper, whatever it is. There's a reason that you're doing that. And there's a reason why he's having you do that. Like my advisor, she had me, I don't know if this is standard or not, but reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, like read the first 3 chapters. When you're done, then contact me for your next, visit with me or whatever. So I took that in and I'm like, okay, there's a reason they have me reading this book. You know what I mean? There's a reason why, like, she's making sure that I watch these Wake Up Legendary videos because it's empowering. It's helping shift mindset and a way of thinking that because I've been conditioned for 30 years, like it's going to take work. So you have to take the small steps to get to the big steps. You can't just jump to the big step. This is another analogy that I like to use is we're a big basketball family. So if I wanted to play basketball and what do you do? How do you win a game? You make points, right? So if I asked for a trainer, like I want to be a basketball player, but all he taught me was how to shoot a basketball, I'd be a really bad basketball player. I need to get the fundamentals of basketball first, even though it's freaking hard dribbling a ball, going up and down a court. You have to get these skills first before you start shooting the ball and making points. Like you have to do the small work to get to the big steps.
Off the backboard. How do you like that one?
Yeah, I liked it.
I mean dropped it. Butterfingers over here. Man, oh man, are you speaking some confident, powerful stuff this morning, woman? You are speaking some confident, powerful stuff. It's so true. I mean, you can have the best jumper in the world, but if the moment that you get out on the court and junior Dennis Rodman or Michael Jordan, for example, one of the things that made Jordan great was he was a great trash talker, and he would get inside of people's heads.
Yep.
And so the moment that you have somebody from the stands, for example, and these you can compare these to the people in your comments, or maybe negative naysay family or friends or just acquaintances. The analogy is you got the person that's sitting in the stands and they yell, "Hey, loser! You suck! You're gonna lose tonight. You big failure!" Right? Or start bringing up mistakes that you've made in the past in other games. Right? I mean, if you've ever been to an NBA game, man, the fans are not so much so that, I mean, there are some clips where the players get so fed up, they actually will start talking back to the fans. Like, shut up, man. Like, what I mean? Because you can tell that they're getting under their skin. Exactly. What about when the player's shooting a free throw and everybody's going crazy, doing anything that they can to make that person miss the free throw? What matters in that moment? Is it the mechanics? Right. It's all right there right here. Training the brain, right?
Yep.
So this is a great analogy and I love that you're using an analogy that is familiar to you. You'll hear me say this quite often, and I said this a lot at the last mastermind. There's no substitute in marketing for the perfect analogy. Because when people hear something that's familiar to them that they can kind of understand, and you relate it to what they're doing or what you're trying to present to them, it makes it a whole lot easier for people to kind of digest it. An interesting question came in. I wanted to ask you. Alexandra said, "Do you talk about your faith in your videos to be able to relate to others? I'm a former atheist, now Christian, and I don't want to capitalize on that, but it's also part of my story."
Yeah. So again, when I say I tune into Wake Up Legendaries, this was Brooke, because that was a part that kind of was eating me up, right? Like giving God the glory, because all of this is him. Like he put this in front of me. He gave me the confidence to pursue it, all the things. So I always like inside of me was like, hey, how am I going to give him glory without like pushing people away? You know what I mean? So with Brooke being out here and so vocal about her, you know, her faith, and I'm like, okay, duh, like what am I doing? And you can just like nonchalantly, because my God doesn't have to be your God, right? But as long as I'm giving my God the glory, that's all that matters. If you want to give your God the glory, that's your God you can give the glory to. Do you know what I mean? So I just, you know, like sometimes in my caption, I say like, thank you, Jesus. And like a lot of my faith stuff is mostly in like stories, but I absolutely 100% in my captions, a lot of the times give glory to God and Jesus and make like him making a way. So yes, I started doing that as of recently. At first I was not, because I don't want to step on anyone's toes, you know, and push people away. And also I'm a very firm believer in like kind of like how you carry yourself and how you present yourself will kind of show light to who is making me that way. And that always comes down to God. So
that's a great, really insightful, really self-aware way of looking at things. And it's also a powerful concept that I learned quite a long time ago, which is that, and this was actually this is actually a concept from recovery programs and 12-step recovery and things like that, which is certainly a way that many people find God or their higher power. But the concept is that it's so much powerful attraction rather than promotion. It's so much more powerful to attract somebody to you or to your belief system or to what you're doing rather than trying to shove it down their throat.
Exactly.
Attraction over promotion. And the concept applied in the recovery programs, that if you're trying to help somebody, for example, you're in a drug recovery program, and what happens when you get clean? Well, the thing that happens is now you want to go save the world. You know, you may have been killing yourself for 20 years, right? But 20 days into being clean, you're like, okay, I need to go and start telling all my friends, right? And saving all of these people who I was not interested in what they were doing, or maybe I was using with them. Well, the most powerful way to influence those people, I have learned, the most powerful way, and I have done this. As a matter of fact, I did it with my father 6 months after I got clean and sober in 2008. I was living with him. He was an alcoholic of 40 years. He got sober, and he's been sober now ever since. How did I do that? Well, I didn't do anything. Is all I did. I was it, and it was attractive rather than me sitting down and lecturing, or suddenly, because I decided to make a change, now all of a sudden I'm going to lecture or try to convince. The same exact principle applies here. The same exact principle applies in marketing. Great leaders attract, great marketers attract people to them through the way that, as you said, they carry themselves, the value that they deliver, and the fact that they are not shoving something down people's throats. And so for all of you who are people of faith or have other strong beliefs that now all of a sudden you feel like, oh, I got a platform, I'd really like to talk about this, it is going to be so much more powerful for you to, by the way that you carry yourself, by the way that you show up consistently every day, by the way that you deliver value, they are then going to be interested in who you are as a person. They're going to be interested in what your faith beliefs are. They're going to be interested in, and they're going to be so much more prone to want to listen to you after you have already gained their respect by simply living within the values and principles that your belief system is, right? Rather than lecturing and trying to convince before demonstrating that you're actually living that way. What comes up for you as I as I talk a little bit about that?
You have to be authentic to you. No matter what your beliefs are, as long as you're true to yourself and like being the most authentic you, like not trying to go out there and be like, hey, this is what worked for her. This is what's worked for her. I'm going to put this video out because this is what works for them, right? No, like people want to know that it's real. So like show them you. Like that's what sells, is really being you and being authentic. And my first like month or so, like when I really started picking up traction was when I started becoming like myself in the video. Like not just taking what other people were doing and like was finding success in, but it was like when I was being the most authentic to myself is what is important. So if you guys are looking at everyone else around you, and this is kind of an analogy I tell people like in labor and delivery when I was, as parents, when you have a new baby, it's so much trial and error, right? And you can go through the checklist. Has he peed? Is he hungry? Is he tired? Right? But like you think of like a swaddle, right? Every single baby, some babies don't like being swaddled. Some babies like different types of swaddles. You know what I mean? So you just have to find what works for you. Take like the big pieces and just find the little things that work for you that are the big picture.
I love that. I love that. And I love that you're also using your experience from nursing here. I mean, it's, so many of us have so many valuable, so much valuable knowledge, so many valuable experiences, so many valuable analogies. I mean, you literally can take analogies from your other career or your previous career or your main career, and there are likely lots of different analogies and so forth that you can use that will resonate and make sense to your audience when they may not quite understand what else it is that you're doing, right? And again, not saying that everybody's in the make money online or online business or marketing niche, but just don't devalue your previous experience. Yes. Don't write that off. You may not want to do that anymore, but it doesn't mean that it was all in vain. Do you agree?
And let me tell you, when you guys always are saying like you have something inside of you that you are an expert on, right? And I'm like, no, the heck I don't. Like I'm just an ordinary person. Everything that I know, everyone knows. You know what I mean? Like I don't have anything extra until I put myself out there, and the amount of people that are in my inbox asking me questions because now I seem like an expert to them, right? The amount of questions that I get in my inbox are just because my biggest thing is helping people work from home, because that is what my goal is. I want to be full-time working from home. So I really try and focus on people that want to work from home. Anyway, so people will be in my inbox is like, I have this interview coming up. Like, do you have any tips and tricks? I don't have a resume. Do you have any tricks of like building a resume? You know what I mean? And I've taken a course in a class on resume building and interviewing, you know what I mean? So you can be good at it. Hello, if I can make a course or a digital product on that, people think I'm an expert in this now. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, I didn't know I was, but I guess I am, because people don't all have this experience in a way. So you have it in you. Like there's something.
Hold on a second. You got my marketing juices flowing here. I want to talk for a moment about how to take that and turn it into a front end marketing campaign. Okay. A lot of times it is better to have a front facing front door. Okay. That people understand really well. And what people understand really well is getting a job. Yep. That the people that you are if you, and I can give you a social experiment to do. If any of you right now go and post on Facebook and say, I got a brand new great job, I'm so happy, you are going to have those comments blow up. People are going to say, oh my God, congratulations on getting that brand new job. I'm so happy for you. You deserve it, blah, blah, blah. If you do the same exact post, but say, just started a brand new business, right? So excited, to the moon with this thing, right? I'm in this business. Please reach out to me and let me give you a free estimate or whatever it is, whatever your business is.
Yep.
Crickets. It will be crickets, right? Why? Well, because who doesn't dream of having their own business? Who doesn't dream of being their own boss? But for the majority of people, they didn't follow through with that. It was too scary. They tried it. It wasn't successful. They didn't give it a full effort. They got scared. It is scary, all the things, right? And so if you have, Mariahh, this amazing experience with resume building, then a wonderful, and I want you to consider this. I don't want to have you deviate from the path that you're on right now. Okay. But I just want you to consider this. You're smiling like you already are doing it or are thinking about doing it. Okay. But just let me finish my thought and then you tell me what's coming up for you. Either creating an entirely new TikTok channel and just testing this one concept of resume building tips on how to get a better high paying job faster, quicker, easier, and get hired on the spot, right? Even use some of the language that we use, how to become the hunted instead of the hunter, how to have jobs, headhunters, managers, bosses, CEOs chasing you down, begging you to come work for them, right? So you no longer ever have to beg for a low paying job again, right? Download my free guide of how to build a resume or whatever it is, right? What 5 tips, the 5 mistakes that people make most in an interview that kills their chances of getting hired on the spot, right? I can think of 1,000 different ideas of how to build a powerful lead magnet. Then you can sell a course. You can send them to somewhere else. You can give them free stuff. You could just give them free stuff in this funnel. You don't even have to create a course because that would take too long right here just to get it tested in the marketplace. And then, in your email follow-up series, you can say, hey, ever thought about starting your own business? Right? Maybe, and just maybe even if you do keep your job, you probably realize milk, gas, on and on and on and on and on is expensive and you need a side hustle to survive in this economy these days. Maybe it might be a good idea for you to learn some of these digital marketing skills so you can have a side hustle. Or have you ever thought about upgrading your digital marketing skills to be more valuable in 2023 and beyond? Anyways, I'll stop there. You are just grinning, girl, from ear
like this. I just have so much I want to say right now because, I mean, I'm definitely, I know I have to pursue this route of the resume building and interview things because the amount of people that are in my inbox asking me for help in this area is just like insane. So I already have, that audience, right? So I wanted to say this because this is, again, another piece that I learned from Wake Up Legendary. I watched Becca and she said, when you are first starting out in your growth phase, you need to bring value to the people, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do so many videos on affiliate marketing, explain affiliate marketing, right? Well, did I know what affiliate marketing was when I first started? No, I had no idea. So then I was watching another Wake Up Legendary with someone else and she's like, you need to meet them where they are. And then you start to introduce it to them. So I was like, okay, my goal is to work from home. That is what I want to do. That is who I am. I'm going to find a way. Not everyone is going to do that with a business, right? So what if I just start doing work from home jobs? I'm providing value to these people by giving them opportunities to work from home. I'm like researching these, making sure they're legit because there's so much scams on those out there, and providing value to the people to work from home. Yeah. So now I have all these people that want to work from home and that's my audience. But now I'm slowly introducing them to like, this is how I'm working from home, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I forget where I was going with this, but my biggest points is bringing value. But you need to bring value to the people like where they are at and then introduce them to what you know because they're not all where you are.
Yeah.
And then not being scared to bring value that's not valuable to you because you are in a different place than these people. So when I was first thinking, I'm like, I'm not doing these side hustle videos because I don't want a freaking side hustle. You know what I mean? Like this isn't going to be a side hustle for me. I tried the surveys. Those are lame. I'm not going to be that person that's out there telling people to do this. But at the end of the day, the people are not where I am, right? I already took this step forward.
That's a platinum nugget, folks. Say it again.
I don't even know what I said.
That your knowledge is not their knowledge. Where you are at is not where they're at. Just because you're growing and you're not going to do a particular side hustle does not mean that billions of people are not interested in some, how to make $20 an hour working for Apple customer support or whatever the thing is, right? So you have to remember the thing that is going to generate you the most leads in any business are going to be the brand new people who are in contemplation mode.
Yes.
Not already in action mode.
Yes.
If they are in action mode, they're that's not going to be your best target audience. Any business, any information business on the internet, the largest majority that, and I don't mean 80-20, I mean 99% of your buyers are always going to be beginners who are in contemplation mode, meaning that they've not even gotten started with anything yet.
Exactly.
They're just in contemplation. They're just watching you. And how do I know this is true? And how can you prove that this is true right now? Look at your own journey.
Mm-hmm.
How long were you in contemplation mode?
Exactly.
How long did you watch somebody else's videos? How long did you scroll social media? I have people nearly every single day say, yeah, I sat there and binge watched so-and-so's videos, and the advice that I would give to myself when I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Just listen to past Wake Up Legendary episodes.
Yes.
I say at the end a lot of times, what advice would you give yourself? 9 out of 10 people say, should have started sooner.
Yeah.
What they're saying is, I was in contemplation mode for a long time. So meeting people with that very beginning kind of, and that's why getting into technical stuff, getting into strategies and so forth is not the best type of content to create out there on the internet, because people are not even there yet. You're creating more questions and more confusion for people when you're
pushing them away.
You're pushing them away, because when you have to always ask yourself, when you're creating content, is this content motivating and inspiring them, or is it creating more questions?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we say things all the time, just in conversation. If you guys want to become better master communicators, then you have to be paying close attention to the things that you say and ask yourself after you said it, or hopefully maybe you get to the point to where this is the goal. You're able to process and think about it before you say it. Okay. Is what I'm about to say going to create more confidence or confusion?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to create more confidence in them taking the next step forward, or is it going to bring up more questions? And that is why in the world of direct response marketing, which we teach about, or I teach about in the affiliate marketing business blueprint, I give you a history of direct response marketing and kind of where this all came from and the power of selling one thing at a time. And that's why the way that we build our funnels and the way that we build our sales processes only present one decision at a time. Mm-hmm. For example, right? When you're creating content on social media, the only decision is to either follow you or click the link. When we go to the landing page, the only decision that they have to make is to either opt in or leave. Now, some people look at those opt-in pages and they say, well, why don't you give them 5 or 6 different choices? The reason why I always and will always hate those stupid link tree things where you got the 15 choices there is because, my friends, they don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. If they knew what they wanted, they wouldn't be on your stupid link tree thing sitting there now with more questions, which is, which one do I go? Which one do I click on? Which one do I need?
And you're giving them more questions, just like you
More
said.
questions.
If you guys go to the successful people's pages in their link, none of them have Linktree or stand stores in their thing. Some do, but majority of them, I'm talking Becca, Caroline, they don't have a stand store. They have their one main offer product, right? If you want to go into their other things, you find their stand store while you're in their content and stuff. That's how they are doing it. There is a reason that Dave Sharpe is telling you to start with affiliate marketing in the core 4 business models. There is a reason, right? When I get so kind of almost heated when people are talking about oh, it's only about affiliate marketing. The legendary marketer is only going to teach about affiliate marketing. I'm what course did you take? Because that's not what I learned. I learned the core 4 business model to start with affiliate marketing. And there's a reason to start with affiliate marketing, because when I have my own products and my own courses, guess what I can put in there? Affiliate links. So now I have a product and links inside of the same thing. I'm not just selling one product. You know what I mean? There's a reason Dave Sharpe is the man he is, helping everyone else. Just listen and hear,
Stop it. Stop it. Well, it's we learn these things as we go, and there's a nature. It's in our nature to want to present all the options. It is in our nature. It's in our nature to want to have a website that has all your products listed. And we do have a website. Legendary Marketer has a website that has all our products. But guess where we do all of our sales? In our sales funnels. Because websites don't work the same way that Linktree things don't work, the same way that, what happens when you go to a restaurant, the waiter has to come over. That's why there's a waiter. Because they have
you go to those restaurants where the menu's overwhelming. You're like, I don't know what to pick.
You're like, I don't even know what to, you're just like, tell me, what do you recommend? Like,
yes, exactly.
Everybody always has questions. So this is, these are platinum nuggets that are so helpful for you all to understand why we do the things that we do. And although the dynamics, I call them the mindset stuff, the dynamics that we started this episode off today, this has been wonderful, by the way. We started this off with are so important. The mechanics are too, to understand why we teach you to do them a certain way. Because if you go and you create your landing page, and then down at the bottom, you've got, 15 links that go out to all your social media profiles and all the different products and blah, 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 it's not going to be effective. People are going to come and they're going to be confused. They're going to have more questions, and they're going to say, okay, I'm just going to leave and I'll come back to this later because I don't know which direction to take. You always have to guide people through your marketing and sales process, one simple, clear decision at a time. And if you do that, you will be a lot more successful than if you try to do it any other way. Mariahh, let's bring this in for a landing. What have you learned about yourself through this process? I mean, what do you now know about Mariahh that you did not know before?
Oh, the sky is the limit. Like, it's so cliche to say, but when I went into this, I was so narrow-minded, right? Like I said, I have this business or entrepreneur mindset. Like, I look at everything now, and I'm like, my mom, like, she's a 12-stepper, and she's been doing this for years, right? So she helps other people, and I'm like, Mom, you need to make this into a course. Like, your knowledge, the amount of people that call her, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, hello, money is to be made here. Like, it's so empowering. And even my husband, he's like a big visionary, right? He has all these dreams, all these aspirations, but there's never like action to be taken. Like, since I've learned all these skills, I'm like, let's go, baby, let's go. Like, I got all the skills now. Let's do this thing. Like, it's just so much more than just what digital marketing or affiliate marketing. Like, they are skills that they have you go through that you don't even know you're going through until you're out of it. And you're like, oh my God, like, I can make this, I can do this. Like, even a niche, I'm like, I didn't even know what niche I was going to get into. And then it's like, I can do 1 million different niches now. Yeah. It's amazing. It's empowering. And I'll say this, like, there is nothing more empowering knowing that, like, the control is back in my hands. Like, I'm not dependent on anyone else, any job, any skill, like any freaking degree that I could go out and get. Like, I can make it happen.
Yeah. I love that. Money, are you still there?
Sorry. Yes. My like AirPod dropped out, and then it like the AirPod screen popped up. So I'm sorry.
All right. So your TikTok is Money Wemmy?
Emmy. Yeah. That's my like Evan, Mariahh, Maddie, Eli. That's our like my family.
Okay.
Emmy.
Money with W with Emmy. Okay, got it. Okay, I just want to make sure that I was like, I don't need to explain it to everybody. Most important thing is people know where to find you. Yeah. But thank you for giving us the meaning, the little cute, sentimental meaning there behind your handle there. It's been a pleasure, Mariahh. I mean, you're on fire. You're on fire right now, and you need to build on this. I mean, you're on fire, and it's a beautiful thing. It looks wonderful on you. I mean, it looks really, really good on you. You're confident, you're inspiring, all the things, okay? All the things that you have been speaking into existence, that you want to be, that you drink, you are those things right now. Like, you are that woman right now. And so keep that in mind as you're moving forward. I see absolute greatness right here sitting in front of me, and it's been a pleasure to speak with you for over an hour of you just on fire of just dropping nuggets of just inspiring people. I mean, you got it. You got it going on. And so I'm
Thank you
looking
so
forward to
much.
following your journey, having you back on the show, and continuing to both support you and also have you give back to the community as long as you're willing. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much. Privilege was mine.
All right. All right, Mariah. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
All right, my friends, you can go find and follow Mariah at Money W with, over on Instagram, it's Money with Emmy. Okay. Money with Emmy. And Emmy is spelled EMME. Okay. So if you want to find, I saw somebody say they don't have TikTok, that just she have an Instagram. Yes, she does. Instagram, follow Mariah at Money with Emmy. Emmy is spelled EMME. If you want to follow her over on TikTok, she's got quite the following over on TikTok. She's got 91,000 followers over on TikTok. It's Money W Emmy. So the with is not fully spelled out. Money W for with Emmy. EMME. So I'm going to spell it all out on TikTok for everybody. MONE. MONEWEMME. Money W Emmy. Okay. Powerful episode. My Lord, my God, I'm on fire. I mean, you know, somebody asked me, who do you listen to earlier, Dave? It's like, if I want to get fired up, I go back and I listen to old Wake Up Legendary episodes. And that's exactly what I tell all of our business plan advisors to do. It's what I tell all of our students to do. I mean, we've got over 810 now episodes that will absolutely fire you up in ways. And what you should do is listen to them back, not from start to finish. Listen to them from this point back. Do that, right? Because I've gotten better. We all are better as a community now. And I mean, if you want to see where I was, you can, of course, go back and listen to those early episodes and how much I've grown as a communicator, as an interviewer. But it's just such an easy way to get inspired and to sort of have people speaking powerful, uplifting, inspiring language, validation, affirmations into your ears, into your eyes if you're watching every single day. And again, if you're needing a pickup, some of you may need breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Right? That's okay. Some of you are just having coffee and breakfast with us live here at 10 a.m. Eastern time, but maybe you're really needing to rewire some things and you're really needing some good inspiration. We'll have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 3 episodes a day, and see what that does for you. I mean, I'm just a practicing marketer here. I don't have a guaranteed, if you do this, I'm going to write a prescription. It's going to absolutely, look, I'm just saying, what else do you have to lose, my friends? Combine this with our curriculum in taking action. My experience of what that can do for somebody is that it can create real transformation and change the whole direction of their lives. And it's not all about money. That's certainly the intention here, is for us to create some financial and time freedom. But my guess is, like so many of the other guests, you're going to also begin to tap into the best version of yourself. We're not here to be your guru. We're here to show you that there's somebody inside of you already existing that you did not know was there. That's it. I'm not here to be your guru. I don't want to be. That's too much responsibility. You're not going to meet me at a mastermind and touch the cloth of my shirt. I'm not going to throw holy water on you. I'm not a god. I'm just a man, just a guy. But when you combine the power of this mastermind, like Napoleon Hill talked about in Think and Grow Rich, when you combine the power of this entire mastermind and these stories and you put them together, it's life-changing for me. Maybe it'll be life-changing for you. I can't guarantee that. It is life-changing for me because I've been present for nearly 800 of the episodes, And you know what? Joanne, our director of marketing and live training, was filling in for me there for a while on Wednesdays. But I said, I can't, no days off for Dave Sharpe. I got to get in there. I got to be there because Wednesdays are not as good. when I'm not there. Not because for me, my Wednesday's not as good. That's what I meant. My Wednesday's not as good. So I'm here. I am here, man. I am here. I am soaking it up, and I hope it benefits you. I hope it does something powerful for you, but I can tell you it does something powerful for me. My friends, let's thank Mariah again in the comments for a powerful episode. And as always, we will see you, my friends, back here. Get into our challenge. Complete it. Get into our blueprints if you can, if you want to, if you're ready, if you're feeling that calling to be accountable, to want to take things to the next level. Get in there. Get in there. Waste no more time, my friends. Waste no more time in contemplation. Get out of contemplation and get into action. Get into energy. Do something with that anxiety that you're having. Put it to work, like Jeff Bezos says. I never have anxiety, the man says, because every single time something comes up, I shoot an email. I take action. I get the ball rolling. I said, is that how you've built one of the, if not the biggest companies in the history of mankind? Is that how you did it? I think so. I think it's simple little strategies like that, many of which we talk about right here on Wake Up Legendary every single day. You just got to be here. You got to take the time to invest in yourself, to listen to this stuff, right? You're worth it. You're worth it. You deserve it. Okay? We'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Get out of here. Stay legendary. Peace.